In this week's Parsha, Parshas Vayetze, we learn about the family of Yaakov Avinu. As the English saying is, when the going get tough, the tough get going. It is interesting to note that Dafka in the Beis Lavan, Dafka in the home of Lavan, over there, Yaakov managed to raise children like our Shvatim. And it says, Chazal tell us, Siman Labanim, Maisa Aves Siman Labanim. Everything that happened to our forefathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, is a Siman Labanim. Now, a siman, a sign, there are two levels, there are two types of signs. For example, by kashrus, a kosher animal also needs simanim. And there's the famous teaching of the Rogachover that he says that there's two parts to the siman by an animal to see if it's kosher. One part could be that if you see the animal that has these two simanim, the hooves, and chews its cud, we know it's kosher. And the other one is the simanim make the kashrus. If it has these two simanim, the animal becomes kosher. So the Rebbe explains the same could be said about Maisa Aves Siman Labanim. All the stories that we read in the last couple of parshas about Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov is not only a sign of who we are or what we are, it actually makes us become who we are. If we follow the trend, if we do what Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov did, then we become part of the Jewish nation, and we become suitable descendants of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. I'd like to share a short reshima from the Rebbe, how the Rebbe describes the day, the order of the day of a Fruma Yid, based on the generations, based on the children, the fathers and the children of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And the Rebbe says the first father, the first Jew was Avraham, Echad Haya Avraham. So in the morning, the first thing you do, Avraham, is chesed, you give tzedakah. Yitzchak, we know, chafiras be'eres, Yitzchak dug wells. After tzedakah, after chesed, is mikvah. Yaakov ish tam yoshev v'holim. Yaakov studies Torah, and especially the Torah, which could be considered like Musar, as it's brought in Torah that before you daven, you dedicate in Shulchan Aruch, it says you dedicate some time of thinking about Roim Misakel, how great Hashem is, how lofty Hashem is, and how you have to connect. So you have Avraham doing tzedakah, Yitzchak going to the mikveh, and Yaakov learning some form of Torah like Musar and Chassidus that will enhance your davening. Yaakov's children begin with Reuven, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda. In Chassidus, it says Reuven symbolizes Re'iyah. That's what it says in the pasuk, seeing. Shimon symbolizes hearing. There is a much stronger bond between the person that sees something and the act that he saw than something that he just heard. Hearing, Shmiya, is something from the distance. Okay, I heard about it. It doesn't connect to me. Re'iyah, something that you see, it very much connects. And in Kabbalah, Chassidus, it says that that's the difference in the different portions of Kriya Shema. So we have the what's pre-davening. We have Avraham, you give Chesed, you give Tzedakah. You have Yitzchak, you go to the mikveh. And Yaakov is where you learn some Musar or Chassidus before davening. Then we get to davening. Reuven is the first portion of Kriya Shema, where it's all about Vahafta, Avas Hashem, because you're strongly connected. Shimon is the second portion of Kriya Shema. The second portion of Kriya Shema is where there's more about Hishramu Lachem, be careful not to step across the line, which is a distant, a connection to Hashem in a way of fear. Levi, as it says in Chassidus, that's the post Kriya Shema, and Yehuda is Shemona Esrei. After you finish davening, then you get to Yisachar. Yisachar, as we know, Yisachar is studying Torah, because the Shulchan Aruch says that after davening, you go, before zipping out to work, you sit down and dedicate some time to learning Torah. And after Yisachar, you get to Zvulun. Zvulun is the businessman. Only with all this as a forefront, you could go out and do business and do it properly. Once you have these introduction prepared, and you did that, and you're in business, then God is mazel tov. God means you'll be successful. Asher shmeina lachmai. Your bread will be fatty. You'll have all the blessings of Hashem. Naphtali, if you connect all your gashmis, Naphtali is Maloshin connection. Naftuli alikim, to connect it to God. And all your dealings are done with done. Done means if there's any disputes, you go and settle it in a fair manner and in a Torah manner. If it's done that way, then you are promised all the blessings.